I've done a lot of thinking in the last few weeks about my little eBay project, and I think I'm gonna do a pretty much a total overhaul on how I do business on it and see how that works for a while. I've been watching quite a few videos, and some guys have had some really good ideas, and I've been doing things a little bit odd because of the way I had to start out with it. I was working part-time downtown in Nashville on document review, so when I would get stuff in to sell, I would get it boxed up, weighed, and everything, so I knew exactly what it weighed, what size the box it was in, and it was already boxed up and ready to go. When I sold it, I would grab it, and a lot of times I would take it with me and ship it from the Nashville post office downtown there by where I was working. I kind of had to have it done that way to move it out real fast, and I just got in the habit of doing that. And it was kind of nice with my background in inventory and the parts business, where you didn't ship things anyway, but if you did, you sure wouldn't wait until the last minute to put them in a box to ship them. Got that rack torn down to take back to the house and use in the garage. The second day, I tore another rack down. You'll see that where I placed it in the garage and got a lot of stuff off the floor. Most of that stuff in the blue totes back there is scuba gear and rebreathers. I'm looking to get new, more standardized totes for those because they're all broken and have gotten brittle over the years. There's more stuff that I'm just going to have to go through, either throw a lot of it away, sell it locally, or Lord only knows what I'll do with it. You can see I got plenty of room in the little van. Usually when I'm moving mini storages, I'll have one of those racks, and then I'll go ahead and fill it to the brim with totes or with inventory. So there's the death pile. That's the pile of junk that I've been buying over the years or months at least, and piling up there. Listed about half of it, probably still got half of it. Some really good stuff there, but I got to get it to where I can work out of it. Like I said, these racks are pretty nice. I think I got them from Home Depot. I'd get one and I'd get a little money gathered up and buy another one if I run out of space on it for my inventory. And I ended up with 3 of them there at the mini storage, and then that one big chrome steel roll around. It's really nice. It's 5 feet wide, I think. These are 6 feet wide and 6 feet high, roughly. Bottom shelf, and then 3 more shelves on them. You can stack a lot of stuff on them. It's amazing how stuff piles up. I'm sure glad to get that stuff out and up on the shelf where I can see it, can get rid of some of it, and at least I can find the stuff I need to use. So here's the end of the first day. I've got the shelf in place. Pretty good little wad of stuff on there. You stack it high, it takes a lot of stuff on those shelves. The old office is looking pretty rough. It looks a lot better by the end of the third day. Stuff just tends to accumulate there. I don't know. So I was wore out after this, no more than I did that day. So hang in there and let's check out what happened on the second and third day and finally show you what it looks like now. So it's September 12th, and it's the second day of revamping the eBay operation. I worked on it pretty steady all day, and I feel like I got a lot done. Not in this area for sure. This is the shelf that I put up yesterday. The first part of the video was tearing that down. This is a donation box. I'm starting to cull out stuff and get rid of it to gain the space back and just to get it out of my hair. It's not selling, or if it's not a good buy, there's no sense having it laying around. So what I did since yesterday was moved all this stuff out, I went to the mini storage and tore down another one of my racks and consolidated inventory there and brought it over. This was mostly just stuff that was sitting in the garage. I'm going to be sorting this out, and the camping stuff and the personal stuff. I've got some bedding and that sort of stuff in there, some kitchenware. I'm going to try to get that all lined out and in the right kind of totes. It was really tight in here, but when Sis's car is over here, it's really pretty much to that pole where that blue deal is I put on there so she wouldn't hit her door. But by moving this one up a little bit farther, I moved it like 14 inches that way. I've got 2 feet plus here, so it's kind of close, but at least I can access this back part if I use it to have some overstock in or whatever, instead of just slapping them up right next to each other. Probably would have worked about the same way, but I like the way that worked out better. Eventually, if I were to happen to put some more shelving in here, that gap might give me a gap to stick the nose of the motorcycle in and save a little bit of space. I don't know. Seemed like it worked out all right. I got tired of thinking about it and just did it. So, yeah, it's looking better to me. If you remember what this pile was, it was sort of like this pile, only all the way to that shelf. Still got a lot of stuff that I need to get rid of that I realistically won't use. Little sandblaster and Dad's little router table. Not likely to ever use that. And it's just been sitting around here taking up space for ever and ever. Oh yeah, it's looking better. I think I can work out of it. I'm going to try to start tomorrow and get a hold of at least one tote. That was my goal for today, and I decided to put that other shelf up instead, is to grab, say, one tote, pull it out, go through it, make sure everything's worth messing with, and start listing stuff. I'm going to probably move this old computer, crossways to the end here, clean this all off. The secret to this is, if I got it hooked up to iTunes, which I do, it's old enough that it has an old super drive in it, so I can actually rip some CDs, and it should add them to my library, which would be kind of cool, because I've got about 4.5 million CDs. It'd be kind of cool to have them in the library. I don't know if it really matters or not, but anyway, that'll give us something to start with, and I can kind of see. I've already found about $1,000 worth of stuff I forgot I had laying there that should list fairly quickly. I think this printer is new, but I'm not sure. If it's not, it's got all the goodies with it. I was thinking I saw the ink in here one time when I was digging around through there, and that's pretty much a sign that it's new if it's still got the ink. I don't know. Oh, there it is. So yeah, it should be a new, very open box Epson. I've sold a couple of new sealed printers like that for a couple $100, so it's possible it could bring some decent money. And I've got to get rid of my old Bose Wave. I bought that when I was in Florida fiddling around. It's got the remotes and some other stuff with it. It had it has a CD changer, but it does not work, and I've come to find out most of them don't. So anyway, gonna wrap this up. Thanks for dropping by. So this is day 3 of my working to revamp everything, and I got the office area cleaned up where I can work out of it a little better. Basically, I put the old Mac over here just to use for a jukebox, and then I'll use my newer Mac here to list stuff on for a while. This is the rack I moved in the first day. This is a donating box that I've made up a bigger box to fill it up with some stuff to redonate. I've made some headway. This on the second day, I moved this one in, took it down from the mini storage and moved it in, and mostly got stuff that was piled on the floor that's my mostly personal stuff, but there's some stuff to list in there too, and still can walk in between them, strangely enough. I'm going to try to keep that from getting piled up. So yeah, I think it's going to work out great. Got a few more things to finish up, and I'm going to try to start hitting the listing tomorrow. That'll be the 4th day instead of the 2nd day like I'd intended, but I did a lot of stuff to kind of make it to where it's possible to list and a lot easier to list. So check back with me from time to time. We'll see if this gets the project rolling again. I have had a few sales the last several days, and more than normal, but of course it needs to really take off and go crazy. With 4th quarter coming up though, I really think that it could really take off, and I've just got to have the inventory in place. So that's my next thing, is list. Thanks for dropping by. Talk to you later.